is 11 o'clock, which might just be catching a few people off guard. But we are live. We are up and running. I hope everyone is well. I've had a look into what we can expect tonight. What we've got tonight is we've got Kenny Omega taking on Alan Angels. Alan Angels, I believe, part of the Dark Order. Then we've got Cody taking on Andrade. We've got Anna Jay taking on Jamie Hayter. I believe that is in the tournament for TBS. The TBS tournament, I believe. So we've got Anna Jay, Jamie Hayter. We've got the FTR AAA Open Challenge. They're going to defend their AAA Tag Team Championships. We obviously need a new opponent for Orange Cassidy. I'm sure you've all heard the news about Jon Moxley. He has gone into like a rehab facility. It was been told that apparently he reported in his new book about his struggles with alcohol. So it's apparently one of the kind of revelations in the book, the fact that he's had these struggles for a while. And unfortunately, you know, we're just finding out the news today that he's still having those struggles. So he is going off to deal with that, which is, you know, fair play to him. But that does mean we need a new opponent for Orange Cassidy. So new opponent for Orange Cassidy, and we don't know who that's going to be. Personally, it might not be the popular choice, but I think 10 probably makes the most sense, because he was the person that Moxley beat to get through to the next round. So if Moxley can't compete anymore, there is an argument that the person he knocked out should take his place. So, because if you just bring in someone completely new, they've just had a complete buy of the first round, if that makes sense. So, I don't know, I kind of think like maybe someone that lost in that first round, 10 would probably make the most sense. But because this is unplanned, I don't know what they're going to do, which direction they're going to take it. So, the other thing you have to take into account is I think that Bryan Danielson is going to get to the final. So the winner of Orange Cassidy or whoever he faces, they could go to the final, and they should be facing Bryan Danielson. They might have wanted a heel to face Bryan Danielson. And 10 isn't a heel, and neither is Orange Cassidy. So they might have to just pull a swerve and try and get a heel in there and get them through. Or they might just give Orange Cassidy the win. And if Orange Cassidy gets the win, you end up with Orange Cassidy versus Bryan Danielson, which might not be that bad of a match. You know, that could be pretty fun. Orange Cassidy against Bryan Danielson. We haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's a match that Bryan Danielson was interested in, because obviously Orange Cassidy is one of their bigger stars, one of their stars. He's not like a world champion or battling in main events, but I think he's definitely connected with the AEW fan base. So you've got to think that's a match that they were looking to do at some point. So maybe they go that way. So yeah, that's maybe the big talking point is the whole Moxley thing. And what's going to happen there. AEW have confirmed that we are going to get an Orange Cassidy match tonight. There will be a replacement. We just don't know who that replacement is yet. Miro versus Bryan Danielson, says Brony. Christopher, shout out to you. I hope you are well. Orange Cassidy goes on automatically. No, they've announced he will have to have a match. So we know there will be a match. They just haven't announced who it's against at this stage. So, as I said, for me, I think 10's got the biggest shout. But they might want to heal, yeah. I would love to see Orange Cassidy, Bryan Danielson, says Grant. Taboy said, if you check Punk's Twitter, and the rumor is it will be him, it's got to be Punk. Okay? Too early for Punk, says Brony. Austin said, I'm going to stick with Miro. Brad said, Kalisto now going by Samurai del Sol tonight and is going to team with Aerostar against FTR. So it's going to be Kalisto and Aerostar that answer that open challenge. Okay. Did you hear that Kalisto is making his AEW debut tonight? Literally just is when I've heard. Could the replacement be Wyndham? I could dream, says Grant. Well, no, I don't think so. Obviously, Wyndham is a bit of a talking point. I could do a poll. If I do a poll, though, I don't really know. Well, look, I tell you what. Let's do the poll, but let me type it out. Now, this is important, right? Do you think Wyndham debuts tonight? Not do you want Wyndham to debut? It's a completely different question. Do you want Wyndham to debut tonight? Is going to be overwhelmingly yes. Okay? But this is a different question. Do you think Wyndham will actually debut tonight? Do you think that tonight you're going to put your money down on the table and say yes or no? Will he be on the show? If he's not, then you was wrong if you voted yes, right? So you've got to think about this. The reason why I'm stressing this is because I'll do this poll now, and I've got a feeling that yes is going to be overwhelmingly popular. But I think it's going to be overwhelmingly popular because everyone wants Wyndham to be on the show, not that they actually think that he will be. So it'd be really interesting to get a bit of a gauge of, do you think that Wyndham will be on this show tonight? And again, if you vote yes and he isn't, then you was wrong, right? That's the way to look at it. So do you think Wyndham is on the show tonight? So we'll ask it. We'll see what comes back, and we'll see what people have got to say. I'll tell you right now, no from me. I don't think he's on the show. I'm not expecting him. If he does arrive, or if we even get a vignette or get anything, I will be amazed. I'm not expecting it. It feels low-key tonight. The only thing I would say is, I mean, Tony Khan might want to do something to take the spotlight away from Moxley. So he might, but I mean, he's not. What's he going to do? Call up Bray and go, "We're going to move on it now." If it wasn't planned, I don't see it. If it's not planned, then it ain't going to happen. But it wouldn't surprise me if Tony Khan tries to do something tonight to just get that spotlight away from Moxley, because I don't think it was great that Moxley allowed Tony Khan to reveal where he was, because it was going to have to be explained, and there'd have been load of theories and rumors, and it could have got messy, and there could have been fake news and all this kind of stuff. So fair play to Moxley for letting Tony Khan say where he is. But I mean, that's it now. The news is out there. It's really sad news. He's getting the help he needs. We move on. And if I was Tony Khan, I'd be thinking that. I'd be thinking, what do I do to move on from that Moxley news? How can I help? How can I help Moxley right now? Because Moxley is not going to want this to be the focus of everyone. So how do we move on from it? So in that regard, he could do something tonight. But it's a jump to say that he's now going to do Wyndham if Wyndham wasn't planned. If I've got to think that they're putting plans in place, I think they're working on something. So I don't think they're going to rush it. And I don't think they should rush it. So, and I don't think they'll have anything ready to run with tonight. So just because the 90 days is up doesn't mean they're ready now, boom, to go. I'm sure they've had comp talks, and I'm sure they know what the new character is. And, they might even have started filming stuff, hence why we've seen him at Warner Brothers. I think it was Dave that made that point, saying that could it be that he's at Warner Brothers because they're filming the new Funhouse vignettes? It won't be the Funhouse. It can't be the Funhouse. But are they there for that? Which is interesting. It's an interesting thought. So yeah, I think they're going to take their time, and I don't think they should rush it. And whatever else is happening in the company shouldn't really result in Wyndham having to rush. So that's where I stand on it, but you might feel completely different. Big Time Baxter said Fightful reported an hour ago that Kyle O'Reilly's contract isn't up at the end of December isn't up. Could we see an Undisputed Era reunion in AEW? We could do. The only thing is, I don't think you would get Roderick Strong. He's in Diamond Mine. They seem to be quite happy with that. I think, I mean, I don't want to see anyone lose their job. But if Kyle O'Reilly left NXT and went to AEW, I don't think that's a big loss for NXT. I'm not saying that being disrespectful, but I just think that his time to be like the top guy for me has kind of come and gone, because I think when Undisputed Era split up and he was having that feud with Adam Cole, that was the time for Kyle O'Reilly to establish himself, cut killer promos, look mean in the ring, and just show he is that guy. And his promos were horrifically bad. His promos were really bad. Like, when you watch them and you're like, kind of, ooh. Like, I found myself doing that with his promos. His matches are obviously very good. I mean, if he goes to AEW, he's going to be perfectly fine in a match. But this is why, for me, Kyle O'Reilly is a tag team guy. He's a faction guy. He's a brilliant worker, but you wouldn't have him as the leader of a group, and you wouldn't have him as a solo star. Like, I would put him in a tag team. And in fact, they are doing that in NXT. He's in a team with that Von Wagner at the moment. So, maybe NXT are thinking the same. He was brilliant in Undisputed Era. I mean, I am not criticizing him as a wrestler. As a wrestler, brilliant. Coming down and, like, playing guitar on the belt. Like, he has got personality. He has got charisma. He has got, obviously, that connection with the fans. But as a guy on his own, I don't think he's big enough for Vince. I don't think he's tall enough. I don't think he's jacked enough, which is always going to be a losing battle. And then when you hear his promos, they're not strong enough. They're just not. So Kyle O'Reilly, for me, if he does end up going to AEW and they can put him in a tag team or put him in a faction, I think that's the best for them. Maybe the best for him, and maybe the best for NXT. Because honestly, I just don't see him going to the main roster and being a big deal, because he's just not the kind of person Vince looks for. So it might just be the best thing all round if he did go to AEW. And as I said, I mean that in the nicest way possible. This is not a lay-in to Kyle O'Reilly. This is just, let's be honest in saying that for me, he is a tag team guy. He is a faction guy. He is a brilliant performer, but not the level of, you look at, say, what they're doing with Bron Breakker, or you look at what they're doing with Haaland, or you look at what they're doing with Odyssey Jones. Like, there's some big guys in NXT now. That refresh has really shifted things around. Wrestling with Andy said, I missed the show last night. I heard my man Bron Breakker was victorious. Do you know what? Your man, Bron Breakker, actually felt like a really big deal last night. He felt like a really big deal. He was on the show, and when his music hit and he came down, he was a bit more focused. I wasn't seeing him like laughing and joking around or anything. He kind of came down. It seems like he was hurting a little bit after his loss to Ciampa. He looked really good in that match, and people in the chat were like, that match with Ciampa has made Bron feel like a big deal, and I agree. So I was seeing Mojo Rawley whenever I looked at Bron Breakker, and that match last week I thought was very good. This week he felt more focused, and I was buying into it more so. Yeah, we might be up and running with Bron Breakker. So, yeah, it was very good. It was a good match. Cal said, love from Michigan. Thanks for the videos. Shout out to you, Cal. Appreciate the support. Vape Ross Vape said, am I the only one that doesn't want Bray in AEW? Why don't you want Bray in AEW? Let me know. Why don't you want Bray in AEW? I don't want Bron as an NXT champion, but after that match he had last night, I do. Oh, I did not want Bron as the NXT champion, but after that match last night, I do. Austin said Zion Quinn's dance last night was bigger than anything Kyle did in his solo NXT career. Andy said, did anyone hear what Moose from Impact said about every WWE and AEW champion? No. I don't keep an eye on what Moose has to say. Brony said, that's what I said. Oh, it might have been you, Brony. Yeah, I read so many comments I can never quite remember who said what, but yeah, it could have been you, dude. Bron Breakker has a bright future, but they need to wait a little before giving him the title. Yeah, and it's great that they did. It's great that they did, and I think that I was worried when in that match in NXT. I was worried last week when he got, what was it, DDT'd onto an exposed floor. And then he got, like, was it pedigreed or something? Like, he got put away twice and he kept kicking out. I was like, they're going to make this guy, like, an unstoppable monster, and even Ciampa can't beat him. And I was really worried at that point because I was like, no, it just feels so rushed. It feels too soon. Like, I'm so pleased that they have waited because I think it's the right thing. Like, I definitely feel a bit different about him now. Especially after last night, and as you said, you know, he felt more like a bigger deal. So, yeah, it's good. We'll see, you know, if they can keep that ball rolling. What about Bron reminded you of Mojo? I think the fact that he was like laughing and joking. He's a big, muscular guy, and he was kind of like hyped up. Like, I remember when, like, the first few weeks we would see him, he would, like, come out and he was all, like, he was like the lost hype bro. That's what reminded me of him. I mean, once Mojo goes solo on the main roster, you don't tend to see too much of him. But, like, I think of Mojo when he was in NXT and when he was with Zack Ryder and he was in the Hype Brothers and then came up. Like, you got to remember, like, it feels like they've both got that kind of football background. It feels like they're both, like, I expect them both to do, like, you know, shoulder charges. Like, they've got similar kind of jack physiques. They both feel like they've got football backgrounds. Kind of, they're both, like, laughing, smiling, like, really fired up. Like, the way that they're presented, and obviously his ring gear is really bright and colourful as well, which, again, reminds me of, like, the Hype Bros. So, I know it's, like, meant to remind you of, like, 90s Steiners, but the fact is that I don't look at it and think 90s Steiners because that was way back in the 90s, and there's been a lot of other references since. So, I look at him, and he just seems really, like, hyped, fired up, and I would just want to present him a little bit differently. I really would just want to present, and actually, last night, I didn't get the hyped, fired up vibes. I got a lot more focus from him. And I much preferred it. I don't mind the ring attire. I'm not saying the ring attire is a problem. But I think now that we know that, like, we've seen him in the ring, we've seen that he can have really good matches. I'm not talking in ring style. But, like, we can see that he can have, like, that match against Ciampa was very good. I'm into him. I'm into him now. I'm looking forward to seeing where we go with him, you know, and what we do with him going forward. But I'm just a bit worried that they'll return to that kind of hyped, laughing in people's faces. Like, well, let's go. Like, I don't know. That doesn't really do it for me. I think his presentation, I feel like there's a sweet spot that we're just finding now. They hadn't quite found it for me at the start. So, BP, shout out to you. Sis, what's BP saying? Wyndham replied to my tweet. I tagged you in it. Well done for Wyndham replying to your tweet. Have you just tagged me in it? Oh, hang on, here we go. I'll tell you what, I'll retweet your tweet. So Billy said, Wyndham, we are ready, Father Buzzard, feed us. And Wyndham replied, I'll come through. Everything has to be right first. Patience. So, I mean, in all fairness, well done, by the way, for getting a reply from Wyndham. But, yeah, I mean, that was literally what we were just saying. Like, take your time, don't rush things. And, that was an hour ago that he was like, patience. So I wonder if you can read into that it won't be this week for Wyndham. As I said, I'm not expecting it. But I can tell you that right now we've had 140 votes. 66% of people have said no. They don't expect Wyndham tonight. 34% of people have said yes. If you was one of them 34 and he doesn't, you will be wrong. Equally, if you're one of them 66 and he does, you will also be wrong. I've said I don't expect him. If he does show, I am quite happy to admit that I was wrong. So, at the moment, 66% saying no for tonight. It'll be interesting, won't it? It'll be interesting to see how they're going to go about it. We still haven't had confirmation that's where he's going, of course. But, I mean, when he does show up, it'll be the worst. Well, I don't want to say the worst surprise. It won't be the worst surprise. But will it be a surprise? Like, where else is he going to go? We know that he's not going to Impact. He ain't going to go to New Japan. If you ain't going to Impact, Ring of Honor has just shut down. Like, unless he goes into films and doesn't do wrestling at all, which that would surprise me. If he does, if it turns out his 90-day no-compete is up, I mean, actually, I wonder what the contract says, because if his 90-day no-compete, that surely means he can't go to another wrestling company, but does it mean he can't work on films? Because that's not competition. How are WWE competing with a horror film? So, if he was going into films, could he not have started with that during the 90 days? Without knowing what the fine print says, I genuinely don't know. But it's just food. Again, more food for thought. Going Ghost said, is it possible AEW have got too many big names and they will start to get lost in the shuffle? Big names need screen time. How do you balance it? Is it that they've got too many big names? I don't think they've got too many big names, because I think that you just need to be creative and find a way of using all of the talent that you've got. I mean, it's a nice problem to have, in all fairness, and I'm sure it is a problem that they will have at some point. You could make an argument they've got it now, but because we know that, like, Lance Archer wasn't very happy for a time, and I think, was it Brian Cage as well, wasn't too happy with how he was being used. But you have to kind of ask yourself, is it a problem if Lance Archer and Brian Cage are not that happy? Like, is that going to affect the business? Like, without being, moody, without being like, that guy, he's spending a lot of money, Tony Khan. He's spending a lot of money. So his priority has got to be AEW doing the best numbers it can, being the biggest promotion it can, continuing to grow. If there's going to be a couple of unhappy superstars, like, you don't want your unhappy superstars to be CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, people along those lines. I think there is naturally going to be a priority list with Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, you would think, near the top of that list. And then, people like Joey Janela, arguably down towards the bottom. So, if Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, Marco Stunt, Lance Archer, if they're upset because they're not getting TV time, you would have to tell me, is that a problem? Because I don't know if it is, to be honest. Because I think that they're there when you need them. They're there for house shows. They're there for a dark elevation. They're on the roster. They're being used. If they want to leave, I'm sure he would entertain releasing them from their contracts. The ball is in their court. It's a conversation, isn't it? If, like, Joey Janela turned around to Tony Khan and said, look, I'm just not getting on Dynamite or Rampage. Have you got any plans to use me? And Tony Khan was like, not really. I'm going to use you for Dark and Elevation. If Joey Janela was like, is there any chance I can get my release then? Like, Tony Khan could grant it and be like, okay, it'll be really shame to see you go because I do value you. and, you know, you helped us in the early stages, but, I mean, right now I've just got other focuses. So, I don't know. You'll have to tell me, is it a problem? But we're nowhere near the point where, like, the big names are getting in each other's way. I think at the moment, the big names are absolutely fine. Lower end of the card, there might be some grumbles out there. But to be honest, I think that is only to be expected. It helps other wrestlers can go and work other places whilst being under contract. That's a good point. Archer was never angry. It was just Brian Cage. Okay. Brian said, hope you are all good, says Rye. What happened to Sunny Kiss? I genuinely don't know, actually. I haven't seen Sunny Kiss in a while. I swear I read about Archer and Brian Cage. I swear I read both. But, honestly, without going back through what I've read, I'm fine. Have you heard that Kalisto has a match tonight? Yes, it was mentioned earlier. Esteban said a Ring of Honor invasion angle would be cliche, but I'm here for it. WrestleBuzz says, assuming Bray does show up in AEW, do you put him against Hangman if he's the champion, or start... Hang on, let me read this again. Assuming Bray shows up in AEW, right, do you put him against Hangman? No. Or start against Darby or Colby? No. I would start him against the... I've said how I would bring him in. I would bring him in with, like, the Dark Order getting beaten up. I would straight away play on the connection with Brody. So I would have Dark Order getting beaten up. I've said before, literally the other day, I would have it whereby if they lose to the Pinnacle, they all lose their jobs. So Dark Order versus Pinnacle, whatever team, if Dark Order loses, they lose their jobs. And it gets down to like just John Silver, and it's like Silver against MJF, Wardlow, and I don't know, one of FTR or Sean Spears, and it looks like Silver's horrifically outnumbered, and you got Tully cheating, and you've got all the antics outside the ring, and you know the crowd are like desperate for Silver to, you know, hang in there. He manages to get an elimination. We get down to 2-on-1, and again, you know, you got Tully cheating, referee is down, like they're all beating up on him. You got Dark Order backstage that are desperate to go out there, but security aren't letting them out to help Silver because it's, you know, it's been built up. It's a massive main event, massive match. Lights out, on they come. Wyatt in the ring, Wyndham in the ring. I mean, the place would flipping lose its mind. It would absolutely go bananas. And I know it would, because that is the similar story, slightly different, but same sort of booking for the arrival of Sting at Survivor Series in WWE. So that one was people would lose their jobs if Team Cena lost. That was Triple H and the Authority ganging up on Dolph. Dolph was the final one. And you had Kane, you had Seth. I can't remember who the other one was, but I remember they were all beating up on him. Triple H lights go out, come back on, Sting walks out, and that's how Sting debuted in WWE, and it was immense, and it's one of my favourite WWE moments, and there is no problem. That was 7 years ago. There's no problem going back and taking influence from old stories and running that again. So I love that. I would do that, and then you could go off and he could... I wouldn't keep him in the Dark Order, but I would have it whereby he beats them up. Silver, I mean, that builds up Silver. It keeps Dark Order in. You're playing on, you know, the connection of him and Brody. It presents Wyndham in a, you know he's a face. It's a great big moment to bring him in at. I think for me that ticks a lot of boxes as to how you would bring him in. I love that way. I'm sure there's millions of other ways as well, but I like that one. And I wouldn't have him in the Dark Order, but I just like the fact that he's helping the right people. He's helping good people. He's helping people that are like, you know, that connection with Brody and everything. And then, you know, he can go off and do what he does, and you know, we could hear from him, and he could do like some vignettes as well. You could have actually built up with like vignettes of, you know, Wyatt is coming or whatever, Wyndham's coming or whatever he goes by. It's so hard to comment because we don't actually know his new gimmick, do we? We don't know what he's going to be doing. Is it going to be like The Fiend? Is it going to be like Cult Leader? Is it going to be something different? I think it should be maybe something different, because if you think the first time he did a Cult Leader, second time he did Split Personality, like, must be something else he can do this time. Because if he does Split Personality, it'll be always compared to The Fiend. If he does Cult Leader, it'll always be compared to Wyatt Family. So maybe you'd have to do something else. Hard to know what that is. But if anyone can figure it out, it'll be Bray Wyndham. You'd be able to like sit down and just brainstorm. You know, I'm sure you'd be able to come up with something. So, have you seen the Scream series trailer? No. I don't know if someone said Moxley's replacement is apparently going to be Miro. Sean Ross Sapp tweeted saying that the person flew in today and they wasn't booked for the show. Do you think Triple H and Sean will have a little meltdown seeing NXT's greatest faction in the hands of Tony Khan? No. I think they're going to be focused on what they're doing now. I don't think they're going to be worried about, you know, what's happening over at AEW, to be honest. I don't even think that's their battle anymore, is it? I think AEW is, you know, now the conversation isn't NXT versus AEW. Now the conversation has moved to SmackDown versus Rampage. That's where the conversation was. So, you know, both of them shows on a Friday night. So now we're not getting NXT AEW ratings compared. We're getting SmackDown and AEW ratings compared and demo ratings looked at and things along those lines. So, no, it's not Sean's fight or Triple H's fight anymore. They've got a whole new NXT 2.0 to worry about their current superstars, so I don't think they'll give a flip. I think Full Gear would be the right place for Wyndham to debut, or maybe he could return at WrestleMania 38, says Ashton. Don't know, busy with kids, short beat here at some points. Daniel, yep, shout out to you. Wyndham should go to Hollywood or retire from wrestling, says Sean Reset. Austin said wrestling needs Bray. Amy said, what did I miss on Raw? Not much. I didn't think this week's Raw was that brilliant. Kind of felt like, what did you miss? I think the opening match was Becky, Bianca. That was okay. I can't remember what our main event was. Main event, was that the Big E Kevin Owens thing? I just remember it being very in the middle. So a bit of a misstep for me. When Rampage beats SmackDown for like 15 minutes. William says, theory, Fiend changes people to who they were meant to be. Wouldn't it be awesome if we get Husky Harris? You wouldn't be able to. That's surely owned by WWE. So I don't think you'd be able to get that. And if you was going to portray that, plus I don't know that character wasn't that over. Like, when he went back to NXT and then reinvented himself as Bray, I mean, that's when we started to get somewhere and we had Wyatt Family. But actually, when he was in NXT and Nexus and he was Husky Harris, he was very forgettable. So, I don't know. I don't know if that would be... You couldn't do that name, and I wouldn't revisit that, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't do anything with The Fiend. I don't think you can carry that over, because you can't use any of that terminology or nothing. So it might be best to just start a whole new story. Austin said Husky sucked. Days, TNT and TBS executives are reportedly not planning on renewing Rhodes to the top for Season 2 after doing poorly in the demos, getting around 0.1. What are your thoughts on the odds I tweeted you a few weeks ago? Dude, I live day to day. So if you tweeted me something a few weeks ago, I could have given you an answer a few weeks ago. But I couldn't give you an answer now. Liv Angelina Stan said, I don't think Wyndham should be a face or a heel. He should be a character that does whatever he wants, no matter of if his target is a face or a heel. Dave said, Days, I'm all nice and tight. Oh, my God. Oh. That does sound as bad as he means it as well. I'm all nice and tight, ready for the wep tomorrow night. Whew. I mean, it's my own fault. It's my own fault. It's because of me that we've had that contact. That's comment. Honestly, I feel like throwing up right now. Ben Russell said, if he changed the spelling of the Fiend, he could still use it, but I know that's unlikely. Ashton said, I see Shane McMahon replacing Adam as a heel authority figure and witness the end of Paul and Roman. He's not with the company anymore. He's gone now, hasn't he, Shane McMahon? So, yeah, I don't think he will, to be honest. Days, I could retweet them to get your thoughts. I'd rather not talk football. I don't mind talking football, but if you are going to put anything, just put it in the chat. I hope we get Britt Baker tonight. Well, she's not down for the match list. Match list tonight, again, is Kenny Omega versus Alan Angels. We got Cody versus Andrade. I'm quite looking forward to that because Cody's been getting some really bad reactions. I'm quite interested to see how they react to him tonight. He turned around and said that he won't change, he won't turn. I just wonder if the crowd are going to force him to. So quite interested in that. The fact he said he won't turn and all of this, I don't think that's going to stop the fans from booing Cody. So Kenny versus Alan Angels, Cody versus Andrade, Anna Jay taking on Jamie Hayter. We've got an FTR AAA Open Challenge. And then we've got Orange Cassidy taking on someone new. Vape Ross Vape said, -1 gets injured and Missy and the rest of the Hyatt family attacks the Dark Order. And that leads to Bray Hyatt. Bray Hyatt. I like that. Well done. Crown Jewel, you could see on Heyman's face he didn't want Roman to win. Look at his face. Hasib said, did you see Kyle O'Reilly's contract is up next month? Do you see him going to AEW? We answered that earlier, Hasib. Cassidy versus a soon-to-be-named opponent tonight. Yes. Rye, shout out to you. I hope you are well. Moxie is in rehab. Yep. But I think we're up to speed with all the comments. We've got the poll, which is on at the moment. And Wyndham, do you think Wyndham debuts tonight? Again, we stressed this earlier, right? This is not do you want Wyndham, right? Because we all know that would be overwhelmingly yes. But it's do you think Wyndham will be on the show tonight? You have to be very honest in saying, do you think, are you expecting, do you believe Wyndham will be on the show tonight? It's just good to get a good read of the community as to where the community is. And at the moment, it's 64% no, 36% yes. So that's where we are at the moment. I hope it's not Braun Strowman versus Orange Cassidy. I wouldn't be expecting that, to be honest, but I didn't even cross my mind. So it's an interesting out-the-box thought. Kenny says, will you stream Canelo versus Caleb Plant? I don't think so, because I believe it's on at the same time as UFC. UFC is our priority. We do it every single week. We've got a good UFC community. So we've got that this weekend. We did UFC weekend just gone. We had a big pay-per-view. Now we've got UFC, like this, an even bigger show this weekend, Thug Rose. And that's my focus. But I do want to do the Canelo fight, but I think it clashes with the main event. After his tweet reply, I'm pretty certain we don't see him this week, says Moldy Spoon. I don't think he will personally, but he could, said Lord French Fries. Adam said WWE are touring the UK right now to see who gets the rights for the UK pay-per-view next year. Ashton said, on SmackDown, Roman wasn't there. Paul was teasing going back to Brock. Ashton, they're definitely teasing Heyman and Roman splitting. I mean, what Paul Heyman's doing is, definitely getting us to ask questions as to where does his loyalty lie. But I don't know. I don't know where that's going to lead. But I'm quite excited to find out. No Wyndham tonight, or not till Full Gear. Then it will be a tease, says Dave in real life. Ben said, I'm looking forward to UFC on Saturday from MSG as well. That's a really good point. Yeah, Madison Square Garden. That's a really good point. Rise said, in the building tonight. Let's go. Have fun. William said, sometimes I get busy working. Halloween plus sold cattle. Brought piglets and a goat. I mean, we could make a joke about the goat, but I mean, let's not. William, that's what an amazing life you have. You sold cattle, you brought piglets. William's got piglets, and he's always got a goat as well. The new Topps Superstars are out now. Some shops have put them out early. It isn't a big collection, but the amount of parallels are insane. I think I've got numbered 1 to 59 cards already. Are they the ones with the autographs? I know there's AEW cards coming out soon, which look interesting. William, shout out to you. Clay said, when is Bayley back? I saw on Facebook it's been 117 days since her injury. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine next year is what I heard. So I don't know if they'll save her for the Rumble, maybe end of January. That means that she can get back, get training. It's a nice surprise, nice moment. Makes sense, doesn't it? I named the goat Tommy. He looks like a Tommy. Wow. You should take him on Toy Travels. What do you see happening? Brock winning the Royal Rumble and beating Roman, or Roman beating Brock and out comes Dean Ambrose? I don't see Dean Ambrose coming out. So Brock winning Rumble and beating Roman is way more likely than Dean Ambrose going to WWE. What do you think Bianca will do moving forward now that she's out the title picture? Well, I think she'll try desperately to stay into the title picture. It feels like someone needs to attack her. Feels like she needs to go off into another feud, a different feud. So, hard to say who that's going to be, to be honest. Maybe she could get into like a feud with Queen Zelina or something. I know that might be a real step down, but, well, I mean, they've just put the Queen thing on Zelina. She needs a good feud. If you are going to do something with Zelina, I mean, you have just made her queen. If you are going to do something with Zelina, then do something with Zelina, like put her in a feud. And if Bianca needs a feud, then it's a bit of a no-brainer. You could do something there. Could be quite interesting. So I'm not too down on that. I actually thought Zelina was a fantastic manager. When she managed Andrade and managed Angel Garza, like that was good. That was good. Her and Andrade were better than when she managed Angel Garza as well. I haven't seen Angel. I don't know where Angel Garza is, but yeah, I think you could actually put Zelina back with someone. And then, you might even be able to start looking at doing like Bianca Montez versus someone Angélico, and you could get like some mixed tag matches going, which could be a bit different, and I think people would buy into that. You might even be able to get like a 6-person where you do Street Profits and Bianca versus Zelina, and I don't know, maybe she joins up with the tag team. Perhaps there's a heel tag team that she could join forces with, so yeah, there's stuff that you could do there. I liked Zelina as a manager. She was good. I know you like Thug Rose. Yes. Do you like Casey O'Neill? I like Thug Rose. Thug Rose is my favourite. I mean, there's a few women that I think are very skilled, but I think, honestly, I think it's just all the champions. The champions are just brilliant. Like, I love Rose. She's a champion. I love Valentina Shevchenko. She's a champion. I love Amanda Nunes. She's a champion. Like, the champions are really where my focus is at. Even Joanna and Zhang Weili are very impressive. And Joanna won't come back to UFC. Like, they keep trying to get her back, but she will only come back for a title match. And Dana's like, that's not really how it works around here. So there's a lot of women coming through. Agapova, Marion Fior, who looks really good. Casey O'Neill, Robertson, Mackenzie Dern. I mean, there's lots of like great women around, but my favourites are, just by chance, the 3 champions that we've got. Man City, -105, Chelsea +275, Liverpool +360. Yeah, I mean, I would say with those odds then that Chelsea look like a good bet, so do Liverpool. I mean, you'd probably be worth putting a bit of money on Chelsea and Liverpool. I mean, if you put down 100, you'd get 275 back. If you put down 100 on Liverpool, you'd get 360 back. I mean, both have got as good a chance as Man City. Chelsea in particular, who are top of the league right now, so... Why aren't we talking about the absolute legend, Armed Anderson? That's true. He is the GOAT. If William did get a GOAT, then you should have called it Arn or Armed or Glock. You should have called him Glock the GOAT. That's what you should have called him. Oh, how dare you name things without coming to this community first? The main event on MLW is going to be insane. It's King Muertes versus Tom Lawler in a casket match. I don't even know what WWE is doing with women's tag titles. It seems like new champs crowned, and then the team lose until eventually they lose the titles. I don't even know who the tag champs are right now, to be honest. I have not a clue. I genuinely don't know. It was Natalya and Tamina, and then it became someone else. It has been Shayna and Nia. I ain't got a clue. No, it's Nikki and Rhea, isn't it? It's Nikki and Rhea. Pfft. Yeah, well, there we go. I don't understand why they have women's tag titles, but not a women's mid-card. There's legit no other tag teams than Rhea and Nikki. Do you play Topps Cards app mobile game? No. I don't, but I did download it when they first started it, but it wasn't the same for me. It wasn't the same. I was more into... I like collecting cards. For me, I like collecting autographs. A lot of the other cards just kind of get in the way. But I know the card industry has like exploded now, and like the value of cards have gone through the roof. Like, certainly if you can get people's rookie cards, and maybe the future will be that rookie cards and cards like that will only be available digitally. But right now, it just doesn't hit the same. No, it didn't feel as I downloaded a few at the start, bought a few packs, and I was like, wasn't doing it for me. I would say there are about 70 different autographs and parallels of each one. You can get the Now Superstars in every 154 packs, and the Legend autographs in multi-packs. Even I remembered Nikki and Rhea. Well done. Rai said, wondering where you was at. A lot of people were worried about James. He is a wrestling addict, so for him to not be around was very, very significant. Delmar says, do you think Bianca should use her star power to elevate Tegan or Mia, since Zelina and Carmella are now feuding with Nikki and Rhea? Do I think she uses her star power to elevate Tegan or Mia? I suppose, yeah, why not? Mia in particular, I'd love to see her return. I don't know where she is or what she's doing. So, yeah, I mean, and I suppose Tegan as well. Tegan's never done it for me. She came in, she got injured, and I mean, I don't even know why she's on the main roster. I don't feel like we've seen much of her in NXT. She had a feud with like Dakota Kai, and that was about it. I think they just wanted a women's tag team, and they went with them two. But now they've split them up. Now they've already split them up, so I don't know what the future holds for Tegan. I mean, I would not have had Tegan on the main roster, full stop. I think she's fine in WWE, but give her some stuff to do in NXT. I think Mia Yim is the one that I would, give a little push to. Days, I just saw that Fraser Ramon photo. Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? As soon as I saw that, I knew of our love of Fraser, so I thought you'd appreciate it. Hasib said, I don't expect Wyndham, but if he does appear, I feel it will be after the main event doing something with Cody, in my opinion. Ashton said, what about Brock beats Roman, out comes Drew, Roman beating Brock, and Goldberg comes out? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, why would we have all these people come out? Like, if we're going to do Brock Roman, just do Brock Roman. I don't think we need, like, a parade of superstars coming down to the ring. So, and we don't need Goldberg anywhere near that title. So, I definitely wouldn't go that way. You could do Brock Roman. Roman wins, and then Drew makes his presence felt. You could do that. But I'd have Goldberg can go in the Hall of Fame and close the door behind him. Heather says, I'm blaming everything on John Laurinaitis. Johnny Ace. Christian said, I'm not an AEW fan, but I praise Tony Khan on the whole Jon Moxley situation. Yep. James Chadwick said, if Paige was to return to wrestling, who do you think it would be with, WWE or AEW? Well, I think WWE were very good with her, actually. I mean, if you think of the stuff she's done, I think they gave her the belt. They seem to be fully on board with her. And, she got injured. When she got injured, they made her GM. And that was all going very well. And then from there, she ended up doing some stuff on backstage. She's, I think, still under she's still under contract with them. I think even now they've kept her under a contract. It feels like they're looking after her. Like, I don't know why she would go to AEW, to be honest. I think if she was coming back, I think there'd be an opportunity for her to do something in WWE. So, but I don't know that she is. It's been teased, hasn't it? But I don't know if she is. She'd be a killer surprise in a Rumble. Killer surprise. Lord French Fries says, in your opinion, what's the best match this year? Everyone else is free to answer this as well. What is the best AEW match so far this year? Kenny Bryan Danielson is maybe the first one that comes to mind. Kenny against Bryan Danielson. Yeah. That's probably the first one that comes to mind. I think, crazy thought, that the Briscoes might debut tonight. Bianca Belair won the Rumble and faced Sasha. If Becky was still around, Bianca still would be huge, says Sean. Erase Your Mind said, I blame everything on Sean Mooney. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. He is a lovely guy, Sean Mooney. And don't you dare come after Todd Pettingale. You leave them two OGs alone. Brian versus Kenny Omega says Brony. Volta versus Dragunov. I think we're talking AEW. Yeah, if we're talking completely wrestling, I would say Volta Dragunov as well. Kingston versus Dragon says Vape Ross Vape. Lord French Fries says Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks at All Out was awesome. Lee said Omega versus Danielson or Danielson versus Suzuki. Kenny says Bryan versus Suzuki. Edward said Britt versus Thunder Rosa. What match do you prefer? Volta, Ilya, Bryan, Kenny, or Ospreay, Okada? All three are very good. Probably not Ospreay, Okada. From Wrestle Kingdom 15, which was this year's, wasn't it? Then I preferred the Naito match. But that was very good, Ospreay Okada. Probably go Walter Elia, to be honest. I mean, Walter Elia is my match of the year, and I did watch Wrestle Kingdom this year, and I still feel like Walter Elia was the best thing I've seen. But I would say that there are matches at Wrestle Kingdom that run it very close. And yeah, my favourite match from AEW, I think, is that Bryan Kenny one. I can't wait to see the rematch. Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, All Out, says Patty. Kay said, did you know if we can't or don't want to watch events, you are the only one that we come to who are fun. Okay, shout out to you, Kay. Appreciate the support. We're 5 minutes away now. Ding, ding, ding. 5 minutes away from AEW Dynamite. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. We are getting close. We are getting close. Kenny Omega versus Alan Angels. Cody versus Andrade. Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter. FTR AAA Open Challenge. New opponent for Orange Cassidy. And plenty more. Do you think CM Punk replaces Moxley? I don't think so. Because there's rumours it might be Miro. That seems to be doing the rounds. Alex said, the checklist is big. You need an A4 booklet. Every week on the Topps website, you can get a chance at a different on-card that's signed by Kofi Kingston. You should work for them, Alex. You know so much about Topps. You should work. Well, maybe actually don't work for them, because I think Panini's going to take over the WWE cards. So you should work for Panini. Days, if you could wrestle Vince in any match, what stipulation would you go with? Bra and panties. Bra and panties, mate. Do you know what I mean? If you're gonna go for it, go for it. Thing with bra and panties is there's no point saying like no DQ because I'm gonna get hurt. There's no point saying street fight because I'm gonna get hurt. There's no point saying ladder match because I'm going to get hurt. There's no point saying Hell in a Cell because I'm going to get hurt. There's no point... Can you see my theme here? There's no point saying cage match. Guess why? Because I'm going to get hurt. There's no point saying TLC because I'll get hurt. There's no point saying triple threat and adding someone else in because I'm just going to get hurt. So I might as well say bra and panties because A, that would be lols, wouldn't it? And B, I am going to get hurt, but a little bit less than all the other options. So that's my thought process, you see. Shogolf9T said, I don't like that most title matches with Roman involve the Usos. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Tony D'Angelo was on the bump this week, says Boomers TV. No Linda on a pole match. Oh, Heather, now you've put that idea in my mind. At least that way, if I'm being choked out, that'd be the last image I'd see, Linda on a pole. Oh, you might have... Do you know what? You might have called it, Heather. You might have called it. Yeah, let's go. Let's definitely go for that. I don't know if I can change my mind now. Damn it. Damn it. Maybe a triple threat bra and panties match. Me, Vince, Linda. Oh, my God. Oh, that's my dream. That's my dream, that is. Bra and panties match. Triple threat. Me, Vince, and Linda. Ah, what a time to be alive. Is the house trashed from all the parties? Yeah, it's a wreck, mate. It's on fire. It's actually on fire upstairs right now. It's like an illegal rave going on up there. Why did the tree go to the dentist? It needed a root canal. I feel like you've done better. Saw a few reports and rumors going around that if Raquel gets called up, she will be made a bodyguard for Zelina. If she gets a push to... I like that. Yeah, I like that. That sounds good. That's the same way that, like, you know, think about when Kevin Nash came in and he was the bodyguard for Shawn. That's very interesting. A female bodyguard for a woman. I like it. It's good. If Bray debuts tonight, free round of chocolate milk for everyone if you're ever in Chicago. Haven't forgot I owe you 2 rounds, says Reggie. Oh, I'd forgotten. Do I get 2 rounds of chocolate milk, do I? Oh, my God. Where do I need to go? Chicago. It's worth now. Probably quite a bit of money for me to get to Chicago, but 2 rounds of chocolate milk being promised. I'm on my way. Dave said, my dream triple threat is Dakota and Bayley. Oh, that's filthy. That's filthy, that is. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is a family stream, you know. You should be absolutely ashamed. B930 EN channel said, do you think Bray will sign for AEW or Impact? AEW is my thoughts. Edge, Seth, hands down, better than Dragunov and better than Bryan versus Kenny, says Edwards. Arash Mine said bra and panties, me, Luna Vachon, and Bastion Bugger. Bastion Bugger. Wow, in a bra and panties match. Oh my God. Right, here we go. Let's go over to AEW. It's time. Right, let's end our poll. We had 340 votes. And I feel like this is a very accurate poll. We did stress the difference between do you think he will and do you want him to. And you lot have come back by saying that 60% think that he will not debut tonight. So 60-40. That's still closer than I thought, actually. But 60-40 that Wyndham does not debut tonight. Right, we're starting with, boom, we're straight out the gates here. No messing around. Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is taking on Alan Angels. Do you think all the Angels are called Alan? I hope so. North Carolina. Here he is. Is anyone going to lose their minds if Kalisto shows up tonight? I mean, honestly, I will. I will. If Kalisto is going to come out tonight, I will lose my mind. I'm tired of Omega as champion, says Lone Star Friend. Gotta love everything being an hour early, said List of Jericho. Full Gear on Saturday is gonna haunt days. Well, thankfully it's not this Saturday, because this Saturday would haunt days. Oh, and actually, have we got a problem, or are they at different times with the Max Holloway card? Because I am not missing Max Holloway. And I think your dong's on that card as well. Okay, I think we can do both. So the main card starts for UFC on Saturday at 9 o'clock UK time. So it'll be done by midnight. Hopefully, AEW won't start until midnight. But, I mean, that card has got Yadong versus Arce. And the main event is Max Holloway versus Rodriguez. Ain't missing that fight. Kevin Holland against Carl Dorcas as well. This community will riot if we do not watch Yadong versus Arce. There will be an actual flipping riot. So we're going to have to try and juggle both. Right, we are underway. It is not if, thought it was confirmed. If Kalisto debuts tonight, I will scream. Right, we are up and running full gear. 8 p.m. Eastern. What time is that in the UK? Midnight. Should work. It's going to be super close. There won't be like an hour before. We might even miss the kickoff, you know. It's not great, is it? I won't be able to watch that pay-per-view. I'm at a convention. Kevin Holland is out of his rematch with Dorcas. Oh. That's interesting. Google's still listing it. It's Dorcas versus Roman Delidze. Did that change today? I wonder why Google haven't changed it. Hello, Cable Shark. Hope you are well. Austin said you better make a video for Kalisto. Dude, you wouldn't need to tell me twice. We're going to get a reaction video. We'll get a news video as well. We'll get history of Kalisto. We'll get a video of all his botches. We probably won't, actually. That'll take a while. Yeah, you don't need to tell me, mate. You don't need to tell me. Is they saying Yadong? Yadong? Yeah? Jeremy, I'm talking about Yadong. Jeremy, please. Please. Don't tell me you've got a problem with me talking about Yadong. Face first. Hope you are well. I am well, Legend Killer. I hope you are well as well. Google isn't a good source. You should use Tapology. Clay says that is a college football team. Punk up next. Nice, says Brony. Nice. Fun fact, Brony told me Toxic Attraction is better than the Bloodline, says Taboy. Full Gear's on at 1 a.m. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's worked out nice. God, something's actually worked out all right. Brilliant. We get Paige and Sky tonight, says Heather. Woohoo! You got to do those lucha things. That was brilliant, wasn't it? Kenny in control. Alan Angels against the ropes. Kenny with a knee strike. Alan Angels rolls him up. 2 count. 2 count. Grabs the leg of Alan Angels to the outside. Imagine if Angels were called Alan and like Clive. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. That's better. Back on track. Wrestling culture, shout out to you. Rise said, Botchalisto. What is the most you spent on one wrestling figure? Honestly, I don't know. We're probably around the 200 mark. About 200. I know that I spent a fair bit on the Rockers. And I know that I spent a lot on the Shockmaster because it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive and signed by the Shockmaster. So I've got those two. the first two that come to mind. Alan Angels up top, moonsault. Comes crashing down onto Kenny. Kenny thrown into the ring. Someone said they've seen a tweet from MJF that is savage, and without even looking at it, right? I don't know what it's about. I wondered if he was going to get in touch with John Moxley and say, is it all right if I make fun of what's happened? Because it'll give me, like, really good heel heat. I think Moxley would be all right with it. So I don't know if it's something to do with that. MJF. Because I did wonder, like, would they use this eventually? I don't know if it's anything to do with that. It's not, actually. He says, you have a lisp. Also, you're adopted. Is that what it is? Is that all it was? Some dude was like, oh, I just saw the MJF tweet. And he's basically saying to a kid that he has a lisp and that he's adopted. I mean, that is pretty savage, in all fairness. There's a kid dressed up as Darby. And he says, you've got a lisp and you're adopted. There we go. He replied to a kid cutting a promo. 5 getting a push like Silver. Strikes by Kenny. Boo for the buckle bomb. Why did Adele cross the road to sing Hello from the Other Side? Double underhook by Kenny. Forearm strike by Kenny. Alan Angels fires back forearm strike of his own. Someone in the fight chat says, I am enjoying this match, but does anyone know why it's happening? Strike by Kenny again. That's awesome. I got Darby, Kamala, and Matt Hardy signed figures, and a signed Enzo Funko. Nice. Adele is a jobber. Days, at the moment, no buy-in is being advertised, but that might change closer to the time. Here we go. He's got Alan Angels looking for the one-winged Alan Angel. He was trying to hit the one-winged Alan Angel, but couldn't get it. 1, 2, shoulder up. It's a very competitive match, this, isn't it? Come on, Kenny, said Legend Killer. You need to get mad, says Austin. Oh, I don't really care. I don't really care. I saw she's got a song on her album called I Drink Wine. I Drink Wine is one of the name of her tracks. Here we go. Win for Kenny. Kenny wins with a couple of V-triggers. It's the anniversary of Angels having his first match with Omega, says Heather. All right, Kenny, going to talk. You listen to me. What's he on about? He's knackered. He's blown up. I have the power to give. I have the power to take away. Give me the chair. Oh, he's going to hit the one-winged Allen Angel onto the chair. Hangman. Hangman's making the save. Hangman, Adam Page making his way down. Nakazawa goes down. Kenny is the best champ in any organization, says Mr. Jack. Do you think we will see Triple H wrestle at WrestleMania next year or Royal Rumble? Do I think we will see Triple H wrestle at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble? I don't think so. No, I mean, he's just had like cardiac arrest, doesn't he? So. Hangman in the ring. The belt's in the ring as well. Kenny and Angels faced each other a year ago during the pandemic when people weren't happy with how Kenny was being booked, and he had a long match with Angels and people weren't happy. Hangman said, I think you forgot some... Hold on tight to it. You've got 10 days. Hangman says, hold on tight to it. You've got 10 days. Triple H shouldn't wrestle. They could do what they did the one year with Hulk and Flair as team captains and have Triple H be a team captain, says John. Right, tonight we've got Cody Rhodes taking on Andrade El Idolo. TBS Championship first round. Anna Jay takes on Jamie Hayter. FT. Oh my God, it's Kalisto! Oh my God! Kalisto! Oh my God, that is insane! AEW! 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 AEW, yes, 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 yeah, Lucha Things! Lucha Things! Ah! Hello, is that the police? Kalisto's on AEW! What do you mean I'm wasting your time? End call. Look at this. There's people crying in the chat right now. There's people crying in the chat. It's confirmed, guys. It's confirmed. Kalisto's going to steal that. I hope he walks out and just falls over. I'd love that. Imagine if he walks out and he's like, oh. All right, I'll see you in... Wow. I'm so happy Big Draw Kalisto is here. Do you normally say end call when you end call? Always, yeah. How would the call know I'm ending it? Right, we go to commercial break. Kalisto! I'm not crying. You're crying. Do you know what? We need a picture of Kalisto in the background. That's what we need. Kalisto. Lucha Things. What happens if I go for that? Kalisto, Lucha Things, Kalisto, Lucha Things debacle. God, this promo is iconic. It is iconic. It might be the greatest promo ever. I think it wasn't it something to do with the draft? I might need a box of tissues to watch Anna Jay versus Hayter, says Otis. I might need a box of tissues for Kalisto. That sounded bad. I meant for his, the emotion of it. flipping know. I don't flipping know where the background one is. I've got so many images. Hang on. Let's undo these. I have no idea how to change this background. I'm actually starting to think it's not possible. I'm actually starting to think it cannot be done. Cannot be done. Hang on. Come on. Don't you dare let me down. Don't you dare let me down. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know how to change this background. No word of a lie, I've probably got about 30 different images and things that I just don't use anymore. But now I just haven't got a clue which one that is. What happens if I do that? Oh, it moves me. Okay, right. Well, it's not. We're going to do a process of elimination. That one moves me. What do you do? Have you got anything? Oh, you're the frame. Okay. What do you do? Okay, you do that. What do you do? You do that. What do you do? You do nothing. Why are you even here? You can go. Be gone with you. All I want to do is change the background. Have you ever known such a palaver? What a palaver this is. Can't be done. Oh, there it is. There it is. Just when I had lost all hope, an answer is found. Okay. Right, we are going back to the show. Where are you, Kalisto? CM Punk. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Na-na-na-na-na-na. I gave my all. I came to see the cult of Kalisto. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. There he is, the cult of Kalisto. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Gonna see. I never wanna be. Oh. Let's go down. Let's move that as well. Brilliant. There he is. Look. There he is, Kalisto. Lucha things. Doing lucha things. That is from that exact promo as well. The legend Kalisto. Yeah. Days is in limbo. Why are there gates around cemeteries? Because people are dying to get in. Right, here is CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. He's crouching in the ring. Crouching tiger, hidden punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. He better be. Must have been a mistake. He's not in the best mood. Moxley chance. He is friends, isn't he, with Renee? He said it's important to him that people do that. I have some history with John Moxley. We're not super tight. Punk going straight edge. Nice show of respect by Punk. No, he won't mock Moxley for drinking. Of course he wouldn't. He wouldn't do that. No. CM Punk has a way to shut you up and make you listen, says David. Does Moxley have COVID or something? No, he's checked into rehab. Punk says if you're in a place where you need help, reach out and get help. He says there's been plenty of times in his career where he wished he had asked for help. Okay, second guy. Eddie Kingston. What's up with Eddie Kingston? He says, I was embarrassed for you last week because I was interrupted and I don't like being interrupted. The crowd said fight him and Punk said I would, but guess what? He's not here. Alright, does he want him on Friday on Rampage? Okay. He says, I'll see you at St. Louis and I'll be ready to accept your apology. He said, I was going to fill that gap. Okay, so Punk said he's not going to... I don't really get why he's not doing it. Eddie will apologise when heck freezes over. But finally a legit opponent for CM Punk other than Darby, says David. Personality. Roman's going to fill that gap. Right, so that was Punk. So Miro's here. So I think it is going to be Miro. God's forsaken champion. Not God's favourite champion. God's forsaken champion. Okay, so it is Miro. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. Bucket, says Boomers. Redemption arc for the Redeemer, says Heather. Oh, well, there we go. Punk sounded like a baby, then ask him for an apology for being interrupted. I didn't like that promo from Punk. Didn't like it at all. Days is looking around. Days is looking around. Do you know what I'm doing, actually? I'm trying to sort out, like, some of these. I've got about 50 different image files on this stream, and I would say at least 40 of them are not being used. So I was actually just deleting that whilst I was listening to that. So that's what I'm doing, if you wondered. Housekeeping, which I could do off stream, but, you know, we're all friends. Did Christian retire? Is he hurt? Why don't they have him doing color commentary? He was good when he was with WWE. I don't believe he's hurt. He defended the title in Impact, didn't he? So, unless he picked up an injury there, that's the last time I am aware of him having a match. Was the match he has in that Impact thing. So, yeah, no, I'm not aware that he is injured or there's a problem. I just think maybe a week off or something. Perhaps they just don't have anything for him at the moment. Miro will become an atheist, and God makes his debut in AEW. And at Revolution, it is God versus Miro. God will come out. Somebody call my mama. Did Punk retire, says Al. He needs to. He didn't retire. Rated RKO versus Roman and Rollins would be an awesome match for WrestleMania. Why didn't you like it? Well, I don't really think the Moxley stuff should be mentioned. It's all like Moxley hasn't come out and mentioned it. I understand him giving permission to Tony Khan to put it on Twitter because I think people will ask, where is he? But it's kind of out there now. Like, people know. Like, it's all on social media. It's been trending all day. Everyone knows. I don't know that it needed that. I mean, for a company that did really, really well with keeping Brody's situation quiet, you know, Moxley goes into, like, rehab and we're already announcing it on the show. I don't know. I kind of think that should just be kept away from the show. And, you know, all they need to say is, you know, you may have seen Moxley is not able to attend the show tonight. As a result, we will. I mean, like, you don't have to explain where he is. And actually, CM Punk didn't even do that. He was just like, you know, let's chant for him and all this. And I was like, I think for me, I would have left that off the show. Didn't really sit very well. And the second bit, I mean, like saying, oh, I would take on Orange Cassidy, but instead I want an apology. I agree with James Chadwick. It was like, what are you on about? You got interrupted. Grow up. So he come out and just didn't really say anything. And what he did say, I don't think I would have said on the show. So it's nothing terrible. It's just not for me. Here's Christian. Joaquin said, it reminds me of the Jeff Hardy story. Yeah, the only problem is, though, this is real and happening now. Like, he's getting help now. We got Luchasaurus that's backstage. So we got Adam Cole, we got Young Bucks, we got Christian, we got Luchasaurus. Okay, we've got Brawl as they spill out into the arena. Half an hour gone already in the show, and we've got so Bucks are back in control. Luchasaurus, it's dark. I can't quite see what's happening, but he throws him into the barricades. Here's Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy crashes down onto the Young Bucks and Adam Cole and Nakazawa. That's that spot that I hate, but that was actually done better because they weren't standing there looking and just waiting. Like they weren't They didn't even know Jungle Boy was there. So if you are going to do that spot, that's the best way of doing it. Here's Christian with a spear by Christian. It's Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. He's going for a kill switch. He's got Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson is behind him. Super kick by Nick Jackson. Okay. There's Adam Cole. Christian's down. Where's Adam Cole going? Oh, Luchasaurus is here. He drives Matt Jackson back. Nice. Head scissor takedown on the entrance ramp. Vape Ross Vape said, as someone that's been in rehab, the hardest step for me was the first one. If you have an issue, take that first step. Need to talk. DMs are open. Much love. Vape Ross Vape, shout out to you. Yeah, they respect. They do say the hardest step is that first step. Jungle Boy with snare trap applied. Here's Christian with some chairs. Where's Britt? Adam needs help. Where's Gallows and Anderson? Cool. I think hasn't the Impact door closed, so maybe they're not allowed to be around anymore. I actually don't know what's happening with all of that. Looks like he's looking for a concerto. Yeah, and he absolutely wallops him with it. I think they're asking for one more time. One more time. He wants another concerto. Minty Eyes said, these people are great. Adam Cole did not deserve that, says John. Yeah, no more time. So, there we go. Christian versus Adam Cole would be awesome. What have you missed? You missed all right first match with Kenny and Alan Angels. Quick little promo from CM Punk. Not really saying too much, just that he's wants Eddie Kingston on Friday to apologise, which is not going to happen. And then we've just had a little brawl there. Has there been another match as well? I can't remember. Christian just shocked the system, baby. Seeing Ruby Soho. Oh, no, the big thing you've missed is that we're getting Kalisto. Oh, is this it now? Here we go. Now Dynamite starts. Oh, there he is. Lucha, 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 lucha. Samurai del Sol. Samurai del Sol and Aerostar. Aerostar sounds like a wonderful chocolate bar. Have you tried that new Aerostar? Oh, it's lovely. Melts in your mouth. Melts in your mouth. It's like dying and going to heaven. Oh my God, Kalisto! WTF? Did he say AEW? Did he say they're the reigning AEW tag champs by mistake? I might have just heard it wrong. Right. FTR have made their way out. Has that always been their music? Now you just made me want to go to the children's Halloween candy, says David. What, and get yourself an Aero Star? You should do it, mate. Absolutely beautiful. He did say AEW champions, did he? I thought he had. See, I am paying attention. And I was listening to the FTR music then. I don't remember it being like that. But then I always have to have the sound down, so. Right, we are underway, and we're actually starting off here with Kalisto. No, they changed it. Wow. I'm being super observant. Is Kalisto going to keep showing up until 5 guys or more beat him up like what they do to Darby and everyone else? Yes. Rather random to name your belt after a type of battery. The AAA champion, yeah. AAA championship. Oh, God. Just, yeah, good. I love FTR. Aerostar comes in. He's doing flips all around. And Dax just sticks his middle finger up and says, F you. Bringing shame onto the wrestling industry. You can get mint aero orange and normal arrows. Yeah, have you tried the Aero Star though? Oh, it's a taste sensation. It really is. Brony said we want Kalisto. Goes up, double drop kick. FTR go down. NXT 631. Wow, that's high. Does anyone else think that's high? 631. I mean, that's pretty much as good as what they were getting before. Ah, yes! Lucha! 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 Yes, he did it. He did the Lucha thing. Put some respect on Aerostar. He was a big player in Lucha Underground, says Heather. Aerostar being picked up and hurled onto the top rope. Is he allowed to do that Lucha pose? Pff, he just did it. He gives no flips. Picture in picture now. Picture in picture. Which one is Kalisto? The one that's not in the ring. The one that's now in the ring. Aerostar being pounded on. Aerostar is a flipping taste sensation. I think it's also the name of the train that goes from London to Paris. There's lots of different Aerostars out there. Or it is like a future airline, isn't it? Here on Aerostar, we give you that little bit extra leg room. Vince is fuming as much as if Brian had done the yes chants. Why did the school kids eat their homework? Because the teacher told them it was a piece of cake. I think we are at picture in picture at the moment, but we've got Dax on the outside with Aerostar. Aerostar into the railings. There's a guy in a Hangman shirt that's got a sign that says celebrating our engagement, I think. But he seems a little bit... Show it up. The camera's on you right now. You've got a sign. This is your time to show it, young man. He's got a sign saying we're celebrating our engagement. And as soon as the wrestlers come over, he puts it down and he's like, show your sign. You got a sign. Some people can't even use signs. He was getting involved in the show. Who does he think he is? Commercial. You're at commercial. Days and chat without Googling it. Who did Usman face in his UFC debut? Ledge Killer says, we need Sin Carrot. Sin Carrot? We need Sin Carrot? Oh, I love Sin Carrot. Sin Carrot was the best. Sin Carrot. FTR doing some luchas. Oh, flips up. Aerostar moves out the way. Dax goes into the ring post. Aerostar going up top, looking for a moonsault. No. Actually goes the other way. Goes to the outside of the ring. Comes crashing down. Aerostar again up. Ooh, what was that? It's like a mega coffin drop. He jumped up and actually hit him with his shoulders as he came back. 1, 2. Oh, Kalisto almost getting the pin there. Almost getting the pin. Sin Carrot. I love Sin Carrot. I love Sin Carrot. It was so good. He was really good in the dark. Sin Carrot. Over the top. Kalisto just dropped down into the splits. Springboard, drop kick. Aerostar lands onto FTR2. Kick out. Sins of a carrot. Carrot is a sin. Going over into the corner. Here's Aerostar on the outside. Clothesline. Nice Hurricanrana. Head scissor takedown. 1, 2. Kick out by FTR. They were both being pinned at the same time. Darby Allin watching on. Darby Allin watches on from the stands in the heavens, looking concerned. So many obvious spots and prolonged holds for high spots in this match. This is an acquired taste. Up, lands on the feet. Kalisto hits the Selena Del Sol. Aerostar. 1, 2. Aerostar dragged out the ring. He gets hurled into the ring. Suplex. What accent do you have, sexy one? Sexy accent. I think it's, well, it should be like Black Country. To reversed. Grabs the rope. FTR win. FTR win. Kalisto should have won. Kalisto deserves better. FTR wins, says Liv and Zelina Stan. FTR wins. Lone Star Friend, he used the ropes. Right, we've got Lucha Bros taking on FTR at Full Gear. I don't care about that match. I didn't really care about that match. I wanted to, but I don't like that style. Right, we're backstage with Hikaru Shida and Tony. Tony's going to present the award for 50 wins to Hikaru Shida. Does this mean we're going to get some... Here's Nyla Rose. What a ride it's been. What a journey. You've hit a roadblock now. It's going to be an easy night for us. So Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida. Shida. The match was clearly discriminatory towards our Latin friends. Boo. Shida has already beat Nyla Rose twice. FTR working with jobbers was a waste of TV time and talent. Great promo, Shida. Great promo from Shida there, where she at one point went, and that was it. In fairness, I don't think she was meant to say anything, so she did her job. She did her job. I was hoping it'd be Deeb. I love Deeb. Where are you, Deeb? Where are you, my flower? I miss you. The last match really brought down my rating, says Minty Ice. Those AAA tag belts don't look too good. They look like plastic belts. Hey ho, well, don't matter. Look, we move on. There's plenty of things to look forward to tonight. Dun, 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 dun. We're at commercial break. We're not too far. We're only 10 minutes away from the halftime scores, actually. So we are sneaking our way towards those. I don't know what the main event... What have we not had, actually? We have not had Cody Andrade, Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter, or the OC Miro match. So we've got those three coming up. Deeb is outside your house. Amazing. Exciting. Well, she can come in. She can have a cup of tea. She can have whatever she wants. I might have some Aerostars that she can have. It's going to be Dynamite next week in Indianapolis. That Shida promo was better than any of Kyle O'Reilly's, says Daniel. Fair point. Even Penta does promos, and it's all in Spanish. Are we saying that she didn't do it because she doesn't speak English? I genuinely don't know. If she does or she doesn't. I don't think it was that. I just think that they'd booked it for Nyla Rose to get some time to talk. So I don't know if it was anything. I don't know if it was Shida's fault. I'm not blaming Shida for that. Shida had Nyla on the ropes. Jobber Deeb! Jobber Deeb! That's a loaded statement. Which one? Which one's a loaded statement? What? Serena Deeb? I love Serena Deeb. I might change my name to Wrestling Deeb. Jericho. Jericho making his way out. Let's see what Le Champion has got to say. Oh, God. All right. Hit the old mute. Right, Jericho coming out. Is he having it? He can't be having a match. Oh, I think he's building, isn't he, to the old best friends or whatever it is. Whatever they're called. Men of the year. The man of the hour. Men of the hour. Daze loves it when they sing Judas. Sing your hearts out, my friends. Go and sing your hearts out. Don't you get put off by a boomer like me. I am cold like January snow, says Lone Star Friend. Sing the Judas, Daze. I don't know the words, to be honest. And that is not anything that will ever change. Do you love Serena Deeb? I can't tell. I am very fond of her and her wrestling. Ain't no Fuego Pop. Miro versus OC is going to be the main event, says Bonkers. Where's Paige and Sky, says Heather. Mr. Super Chat. Super Chat. Edwards, welcome. Is that what I missed? Welcome back to the land of the subscribers. Right, Inner Circle are in the ring. Let's see what it's got to say. The Spanish God. We get to choose what members of that team will face us. Pick the easy ones, wouldn't you? Dan Lambert would be one that you would choose. Here's American Top Team. I'd pick Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Paige Van Zandt. I want one Arlovsky. Why the hell would you ever... Why the hell would you pick any actual UFC fighter? Paige Van Zandt, man. Okay. Jericho, you need to put some respect on my name. I'm American Top Team member number 1. Has he said that so that Jericho's like, oh, so you are a part of American Top Team? Shut the F up is being chanted. Well, they certainly know how they feel about this. Shut the F up. Right. They're making Aubrey Edwards run. This will be Junior Dos Santos' first match when they wrestle. Paige has just redeemed this show, says... Why would you ever choose Andrei Arlovsky or Junior or Dos Santos? Yeah, so don't choose him. We don't want Jake to get a big head over his unbeaten Bellator record. Alexa says Paige Van Dant just brought the show from a 3 to a smoke show. She is leaving nothing to the imagination there, is she? It's time for you to pick your poison. He loves talking, doesn't he? I've never known someone that loves talking as much as him. I've got that. That was hiding in the background. Why would you choose Junior Dos Santos? Why would you choose Junior Dos Santos? I can only imagine that they haven't watched UFC. Okay. Your funeral. Arlovsky now. Hang on. So they win. Hang on. So they win the opportunity. The prize last week was, oh, you get to now choose whatever you want. So the prize is you get to choose what members of American Top Team you get to face. And what they're doing is picking the toughest members. You had some bad things to say about Paige Van Zandt. I don't need no man to fight my fights. Paige Van Zandt says put my name down. Judging by the looks of all those tight pants, none of you have got the balls to take me on. Jericho's smitten. You want to take on all 5 of us by yourself? Wow, this has got a little bit out of control. Maybe you could put it on your OnlyFans page. Okay, do you know what? This segment really picked up as soon as Paige Van Zandt started talking. Yeah, so Dan Lambert gets picked. Paige Van Zandt, I'm a simp for. I knew he would pick him. I'd watch Paige take them on. I bet you would. I bet you would. Does she have one? She does, yeah. Don't ask me how I know that. We'll see you at Full Gear. Paige Van Zandt there was excellent. Paige Van Zandt in that was fun. Got a bit risque, but she was excellent. I won my first high school football game. Congratulations. Dan is having a tantrum, says let him in. Days, how do you know? Because I am very active in the UFC world, and so I am aware of the fact that she has got a OnlyFans. Well, that happened. There was parts of that I liked. Does she really? She does. That was long, says Houston. Why do they keep making Dante so sad? Stop making... They could do a segment where it's like, make Dante smile. That would be a good segment where different people come out just trying to make Dante smile. Days checks out people's OnlyFans. That's not true. I'm just aware. Just like I'm aware that Jessica Andrade has got one as well. People checking out OnlyFans. Matt Sydal reminds me of Dolph Ziggler. Paige's husband must be confident in their relationship. Andy must love money. I'd imagine she's making a fair bit of money. Here is Jamie Hayter. I bet so many people are going to go and look up her OnlyFans now. It's a great advert for it, wasn't it? Jamie Hayter. Can I just tell you, she was an awful MMA fighter. Awful. Like, one of the worst women MMA fighters. Lost to Thug Rose. She lost to Amanda Hebus as well. She did face some big names. But there is a reason why she is not with UFC anymore. Come on, Anna, you got this. Andrade's one isn't worth it, says, oh, it's the beefy one. I want Tito Ortiz in AEW. You already know what I'm going to say about Anna Jay, so I am just not going to say it. Austin said, UFC research. Yeah, why'd you think it takes me like 12 hours doing UFC research? It's 11 hours on various UFC fighters OnlyFans. And then just an hour of quickly cobbling something together. Would buy Hayter's OnlyFans if it existed. Let's not go down that road. William just wants to confirm that he does not have an OnlyFans. So if anyone was hoping for like a William Hensey OnlyFans, I'm afraid he does not. Linda has got one. Oh my God. Has she? Oh, she can have all my money. All my money can go to Linda and her OnlyFans. 11 minutes. 11 hours. Surely 5 minutes is enough, says List of Jericho. I am on Only Farmers. We all know if you had an OnlyFans, Austin would be there in a shot. That is true. The whole chat would, says Heather. It would get a little bit... It would be very difficult for me to continue doing these streams. Wouldn't it? If I'm, like, dancing around in my pants on a different part of the internet. You don't need to answer that, Austin, by the way. Days, in your description, you put Cody versus Allin Angels instead of Andrade. Oh, my God. Oh, I've been cancelled. Cancel me. I deserve to be cancelled. Oh, God. How can I make such a mistake? I had it written down as well. I had it written down right here. Cody Andrade. I'm a fool. I'm a fool, Brian. I've never made a mistake, and you found the only one on the channel. Well done. Well done. This conversation is making me uncomfortable. I need an adult. I need a safe space. What's making you uncomfortable? Me and my pants. It's a bit mean, isn't it? Are you saying that I'm ugly? That's not very nice. I don't even know why I'm doing this. But in my head, it would be something like that. I should start. You're right. I should start it. I'm trying to save for my own place. It would definitely help. Jose said, I got to go to class. I will see you later. What is the main event? It's that. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. Battle of the Booties, says Jeffrey. Oh my god, no. Is that the I Dream of Jeannie thing? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I don't know what that theme is. If you're telling me that's where it's come from, I don't know. Is it the I Dream of Jeannie? When have I even ever seen that show? I don't know. I don't know. Keep going. Cody match will be the main event. OC versus Miro. It's going to be Wyndham. Wyndham's going to be the main event. Daze does the full dance on OnlyFans. That's true. Daze stealing fan. Is that where I've got it from? Have I got it from Fandango? Bum, 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 ba, da, da, da. I think you're right. I think it is Fandango. Oh, that was me, Fandango, with my boobs. Is that what you do on your OnlyFans? Yeah, but just, you know, in a posing pouch. Klopp record at Mans was P. Klopp record at Mans was P. Right, hang on. Well, we're underway here. Alan, what time we got? We're on 10 minutes into the second half. Britt Baker, DMD, is on the outside. Cheering on Jamie Hayter. Anna Jay has got a sleeper hold applied to Jamie Hayter. In my humble opinion, I'd do a fantastic job at reffing this match. Rebel, Reba getting in the ring. Britt Baker holding on to Anna Jay. Jamie Hayter against the ropes. Clothesline. 1, 2. Unbelievable. Jamie Hayter has done it. There you go. Jamie Hayter. Yeah. Wes has got an OnlyFans. It's just him holding his blunt. That's what Wes's OnlyFans is. Racing down is Ty Conte. Baby, I've got your money. Unloading strikes to everyone. Ty and Britt. Big kick. Britt goes down. Strikes by Ty. I definitely don't hate her, says Funko Pop Asylum. Britt is going to be an undefeated AEW champion. Thunder Rosa racing down against the ropes. Drop kick. Thunder Rosa racing her way down to the ring. Britt Baker takes on Ty Conti at Full Gear. That doesn't feel like a big match, does it? I can't see Britt Baker losing the title there. Rosa versus Britt needs to main event a pay-per-view. Tag match next week, says Surge. They've got them abs on display. I thought Thunder had concussion. Must be cleared. Jade Cargill. What's she done to Big Bird? Oh my god! She's killed Big Bird! Oh god! She's killed Big Bird and turned it into a bikini top! I love you, Big Bird! Oh god! I don't even want to think what she's done to Elmo! She's probably turned it into a clutch bag. Hey, here's MJF. MJF. Maxwell. Jacob. Franklin. There we go. Jeff Dippa-Dabba. Jeff Dippa-Dabba. Jeff Dippa-Dabba. Yeah, yeah. Here he comes. Dr. Burberry. Oh, is Darby still up in the stands? Oh, he is. He must have bought a ticket. Elmo confirmed thong. I mean, if she wants to show us just so that we can check, I'm fine with that. Darby is ready to jump on MJF. Tickle my Elmo, if you know what I mean. We have it. We had it before Dynamite existed. We are going to become legendary. So why do they boo me and cheer you? He said he used to lose sleep over this. Halftime scores, they're gone. They're dead. We missed our chance. We missed our chance. We didn't do halftimes. We didn't. We'll never know what they would have been. What is Darby doing? I don't know. He's kind of sat there going... Oh, he's struggling to listen to MJF. That's what's happening to Darby. You're a misfit. You're an outcast. In all fairness, why listen? You should just get up and leave. You're not good enough to be a normal, functioning member of society, Darby. Three-quarter scores in 13 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, Austin. You do this now, do you? It's because you suck, MJF, and Darby doesn't. Awful job. I never claimed to be good at this, Austin. I never claimed to be good at this. Why is Darby shaking? Because he's weak. I cannot put into words how much I loathe MJF right now, says Heather. I'm better than you, and you know it, says MJF. One more thing. I'm still a better wrestler than you. PG is parental guidance. If you are 17 or younger, you have to have your parents' consent to watch. PG rating is the responsibility of parents, yet YouTubers require content to be censored. MJF is the better wrestler. At least Darby got a movie deal. Yeah, deal with that, MJF. Who could get a deal with Burberry, I'm sure. I could beat you with a headlock takeover. Oh, he's got a microphone? I'm not going to attack you with my skateboard. We will have a wrestling match. He says we're going to go right now. He's making his way down to the ring. Too bad. Too bad, says MJF, and he goes walking away. Is that Sean Waltman? Is that Sean Waltman? Was X-Pac just next to Darby? What's his going on? Right, there's a fight going on the ramp. And a load of people in MJF masks have come down. Darby is making his way towards... I swear, like Sean, it looked like... Must have just been someone that looked like him. Sean Waltman, X-Pac just really looked like he was stood next to Darby. Perhaps I've got like an illness where I'm just seeing Sean Waltman now everywhere I look. MJF. Yeah, there. That fan has had a few too many Aero stars. I thought that was X-Pac. Into the railings goes MJF. Be careful. They're fighting right in front of someone with a... in a wheelchair. Darby. Darby asking the people to part. As he runs down. Clotheslines MJF over the barricade. Get him, Darby. In the inside the ring goes MJF. Going to get the coffin drop, but MJF rolls out the ring. MJF versus Darby is hard to call. I could see either man winning. It did look like X-Pac. If that's someone cosplaying, they've done a really good job. Imagine if you went up to that person and went, "My God, do you know you look just like Sean Waltman, X-Pac?" And they would turn around and go, "Who's that?" I'm sorry, who's that? You know, X-Pac. He was 6 in WCW. He was in like DX and NWO. He was 1-2-3 Kid as well. No, I don't know who that is. Dude, you look just like you look like his twin. No, sorry. Because he looks like he's cosplaying at him. It's Charlie. Oh, it's Charlie. He works backstage. He's always with Darby. It's Charlie, guys. It's Charlie Puck. It's Charlie from Sammy's Vlog and BTE. Rice said it's definitely... No, it's not X-Pac. It was Charlie Puck. Charlie Puck. It was 1-2-3 Charlie. It's Charlie. He works backstage for AEW, and he's always with Darby backstage. I'm pretty sure I got a 1 in 5 SummerSlam 1992 poster today, says Alex. Oh... Cool Gamer Boy OMG said, how about Bray? No, it wasn't. It was Charlie. Charlie. Darby is babysitting Charlie. Both need the win. MJF will probably get it, says David. Right, we are 36 minutes left of this show. 36 minutes to go. We're not at the point where we can do the 3/4 scores. X-Pac has got a doppelganger. The Darby running clothesline was freaking awesome, says Brock. 6 or 7, it's 8. It's a new AEW star. Who the F is Charlie? Come on, it's Charlie. Charlie, you know Charlie. How are you? I'm doing all right, thank you, Airflow Games. I hope you are well. AEW's Italy section is here. Says, best company on the planet since day 1. It's been around since day 1 of the planet. Flip. Well, there we go. Since day 1. Kevin Owens is just 3 months away, says LB. X-Pac is all elite. Guys, Charlie is all elite. MFJ could have just moved, says Fit Tennis. Yeah, he should have. I don't know why MFJ was standing there. He should have just moved. Need a meme wrestler gimmick. Every episode, the meme gets a mime. Mime wrestler gimmick. Right, we are going back to the show. 4 minutes till the 3/4 scores. Next, it is Andrade El Idolo. Here we go. Andrade El Idolo versus Cody Rhodes. I want to hear the reaction for Cody. Boo. Right, here's Andrade. Am I the only one that doesn't or never cared for Andrade? I liked him in NXT. Not when he came up. Cosplaying as Black Skull. Takes the mask off. Right, Andrade making his way down. Andrade El Idolo. Andrade getting inside the ring. Andrade getting cheered. Cody is going to be booed, says Brony. There are cheers for Andrade. Lights go out. I hope they boo. Boo, 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 boo. Cheer. Boo! Boo! I don't even hate him that much. I don't care. I just like to jump on the bandwagon. Yay! Glock, 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 Glock. Glock's here. Glock's here, guys. Glock's here. Glock Anderson. It's such a dramatic entrance. It really is. There's a nice applause. Cody's like, all right. Boo. Still going. Cody, the drama queen. Right, the belt has sounded. There's a sign in the crowd that mentioned Wyndham. I think it was something like, we want Wyndham. Cody and Andrade. Slapped by Andrade. It's time for Clark. Whatever happened to when Cody went black hair? I thought he was going to go heel. No, he's refusing to do it. He won't go heel. Not going to do it. Crowd were counting along to the strikes on Andrade. Cody should become a jobber. Who would you say had the biggest impact in WWE? Undertaker, Stone Cold, Triple H, or The Rock? It's hard not to say Stone Cold, isn't it, really? It's hard not to say Stone Cold. Because Undertaker, I mean, they were struggling. 94, 95, 96. It wasn't until Stone Cold, you know, they started to get to 96, Stone Cold winning King of the Ring, and, you know, there was a little bit of momentum then. It was, and then you move into 97 and the Attitude Era. So, I mean, you could say that early 90s is the end of Hulkamania. Then you've got that lull in the middle. And then you've got the Attitude Era, so not Triple H. Definitely not Triple H. Rock, I mean, The Rock's a big star, but I don't think it's Stone Cold. That's the answer. It is the answer. I don't even feel like I need to go through and justify it. Yes, that is the right answer, says Austin316. Got Andrade on the outside. You got Cody on the outside. We're past the 3/4 mark now. Are you guys at commercial break? Taker, said Mr. Jack. Fit Tennis said, so happy Arn and Cody made up. That was an epic storyline. It's definitely Stone Cold, and that's the bottom line. Triple H is 4 out of 10. Gloomsinger said Hulkamania. Yeah, do your 3/4 scores then. 3/4 scores. 3/4 scores. 6.257, 6.5, 6.75, 6.5, 6.5. AEW is miles more fun to watch than WWE, says Jeffrey. David says 7.25. Max says 6.5. Brony says 6.75. Max says 6.5. Bonkers says 5.3. Alex says 3. Shakeem says 4. Jeffrey says 7. Minty Ice says 7. Doppelganger says 7.5. Brony says 6.75. Brad G says 7. Bonker says 5.3. Ledger Killer says 6.5. Andrade looking down the camera. Dylan said 6.5. Sean Andre said 7.57. John says 7.13. Missing Moxley's 6.5. Austin, please don't spam. Don't spam Austin. Funko Pop Asylum said 6.9. Ledger Killer says 6.5. 1987 Big Fan says 6. Fit Tennis said 3 or 4. Scores are throwing me way off of 10. 6.6. 6.5. Austin, please don't spam. Adam said 4.1. Nelson says 4. 1987 Big Fan says 6. Trey Gaming says 6. Isn't it great that a bad or mer AEW show is still a 7? Justin says 6.5. I'm not Brony or Harley. Where is Harley? Clothesline by Cody. Where's Hayden as well? Has anyone seen Hayden? Is he all right? How is the little legend? Slam by Cody. Missed most of the show, out of 10. Well, the question is this better or worse than yesterday's NXT? That's an interesting question. Is this better or worse than yesterday's NXT? I gave yesterday's NXT 5.5. Back elbow by Andrade. Harley is probably at school. Hayden is back at school. Mixed reaction for Cody. Big guy, shout out to you. NXT was better, and you know why, says Austin. Worse, better. Don't watch NXT, so I don't know, says Lister Jericho. Trey Gaming says this is better. Shakeem said I was not on yesterday. David said better by default. I would say that NXT was better, said Alex. Rashawn said this is better. Was it a bad show, NXT? I thought it was a bad week, yeah. But I think this is a bad week for Dynamite, personally. Cody with Andrade. My favourite part of tonight, this match is actually alright, and the American Top Team thing was alright. Omega and Allin Angels was alright. Suplex into the corner. After 2.0, I don't care about NXT too much. Eddie Chance says Doppelganger. NXT is dead. Put a fork in it. Wow, you say that, but it's still getting 600,000. It's still getting ratings as good as it's got when it before. Andrade double knees. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Cody. That's the difference. This has been all right, but NXT was bad, says David. You get a bad week, and you get a bad week, says Jake. NXT 2.0 sucks, in my opinion, says Brony. Brandy is going to throw a fit when their reality show gets cancelled. That's true, Heather. Oh, my God. I want them to get another reality show just so I can see her reaction to not being given another reality show. I definitely want that. Back elbow by Andrade. Cody with a strike of his own. Throwing in some left hands. Bop, 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 bop. Bionic elbow. Cody getting a pop for doing his dad's elbow. NXT doesn't have Glock Anderson. Don't even debate that. I hope Friday does a lot better than the other shows this week. Shades of Charlotte Flair by Andrade. Hope he bridges. Do the figure eight. Figure eight. Figure eight. Figure eight. Figure eight. I want to see him do the figure eight. I'd pop for that. Figure eight. Figure eight. Figure eight. Ah. Boo. Days once bonded with a salamander. Do you remember when Daniel Bryan said to the street to fist him? Kevin almost spat his water out. No. Cena should face Cody in a unheard of WWE AEW match. We got Glock on the outside. Cody. Oh, FTR are here. FTR were under the ring. Little sneaky sneaksters. Andrade rolling Cody. One, two, three. Andrade wins. Yay! Cody lost. Good. Good. A good win for Andrade, yes. Shame it wasn't clean. Here's Tully making his way down. Tully versus Armed. Bring it. Cody should quit wrestling. Cody should quit. Oh, forget it. Forget it. Talk amongst yourselves. I should quit streaming. Big kick by Andrade. Cody should quit wrestling. No idea why that was hard. Not a clue. Armed is in. Armed pushing Tully. On and Tully. Lucha Bros making their way down. We just had Glock and Tully face to face. Now we got the Lucha Bros making their way down. I like that match. Horseman tease. Nice. Cody always overbooks his matches and segments, says Brony. Lucha Bros against the ropes. Here comes the Glock. Okay, that's that. Brandy was going to eat her... Oh, my God, what? I want Tully and Arm now. Do it, Tony. Thought that was the headline match. There's 50 minutes left. Miro and Orange Cassidy. That's what we've got. Miro and Orange Cassidy. I mean, in all fairness, Miro was not meant to be wrestling, so... Maybe that's why there's not loads of time. Penta is a sexy man, says Minty Ice. Horseman wheelchair match. John Silver versus Cole on Friday. Adam Cole, baby. We want Bray, says Johnny. For the first time in 26 years, the Atlanta Braves are World Series champions, and WWE is sending them a custom WWE championship to celebrate. 9.7 out of 10. Frank says, Bray. Wyndham Rotunda, Bray. Bray. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-ba-ba. Wyndham Rotunda, Bray. Lol. Do we need Bray? AEW has got Kalisto now. Lucha things. Oh my god, what if that is Bray? What if it actually isn't Kalisto? What if Aerospace? Oh my god, guys. Aerospace is Bray Wyatt. We should have seen it all along. That tag team is Kalisto and Bray Wyatt. That's his new gimmick, is a lucha. Lucha. Oh, guys, right. He's such a genius. It was right in front of our eyes as well. God damn. You've even watched his first match and you don't even know it. Aerospace is going to take his mask off and be like, look at that. I've never seen them together. I rest my case. There we go. Aerospace is Bray Wyatt. Bray Space. Aero Rotunda. Absolute saints. AEW's roster is too big already. Zoom Station said he's got the whole world. Who, Tony Khan? Tony Khan's got the whole world. Bray sounds like a thing a zombie would say. What if Kalisto's Ray and Ray is Mysterio? Showing off the guns. Here's Silver. Here's Silver. John Silver. What's he calling him? Budge. What are you on about? What are you on about? What are you talking about? I like John Silver. I ain't got a clue what he's on about. There is a sign in the crowd that says Budge. He's got big arms, hasn't he? John Silver versus Adam Cole. Bray. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. It's a BTE thing. Oh. He started calling Adam Cole Budge on BTE. Can I get an update of what happened? What has happened? Andrade's beaten Cody. Jericho has selected the people he wants to face for America Top Team. Jamie Hayter has gone through. Kenny Omega beat Alan Angels. Kalisto debuted along with Aerosmith. And I don't know what else. It's been a wild night. Every time I go to turn the volume up or down, my flipping YouTube now pauses. Adam Cole was rumoured to have his haircut and become a manager, so that was a reference to that. I'm disappointed that we don't get Armed versus Tully. Hopefully we do next week. Legend Killer, shout out to you. I'll explain. On BTE, Silver has been acting like WWE Creative, and he's been doing skits for Cole to change his name and shave his head like WWE Creative. It's hilarious, and it's also an in-joke that no casuals are going to be aware of. So I don't know why he's bringing in like little references like that when people like myself are going to watch and go, what's he on about? That segment falls flat. I like John Silver, but don't cater to a really small part of your audience when you get some time to talk on Dynamite. If you get some time to talk on Dynamite, say something and actually, get over with the crowd. All he's just achieved there is had a load of people, the majority of people that don't watch BTE have just gone, what? And I like John Silver. So I think that was a real wasted opportunity for him. The Ghostbusters music. I ain't afraid of no budge. Have you done a thumbnail for the web? No. Agreed, especially because Silver has the personality to deserve the time. I know. I completely agree. I find it frustrating. I really like John Silver, and I like to see him stood in the ring on his own with a microphone and some actual Dynamite time. You're kind of like, oh, and he's funny as well. That will have played to the hardcore AEW fans, so they'll get something from it. But it doesn't do anything for anyone else. Oh well, next time. Here's Orange Cassidy making his way down. He's got his ribs bandaged. He had his ribs bandaged a couple of weeks ago as well. I wonder if Miro goes through here. The reason why I say that is because I expect I said this earlier, I expect Bryan Danielson to go through to the final. So if Bryan Danielson goes through to the final, is he going to face Orange Cassidy or does he face a heel? Because I actually think that Moxley, I agree with you guys in the chat. I think they were moving Moxley towards being a heel. And I think it was so that they could build to Moxley versus Bryan Danielson at Full Gear. Now, if Moxley's not at Full Gear, I've got to think he's not at Full Gear, then are they going to replace him with Miro? Are we going to get Miro versus Bryan Danielson? That would be heel versus face, wouldn't it? Which would make sense. You could also do Bryan Danielson against Orange Cassidy, of course. All right, let's have a look. Let's see how this goes. Rusev Day, says Joe. Bryan's in the final. That's why he's on commentary, says Daniel. Right. How long we got? We've only got 8 minutes. Orange Cassidy with his hands in his pockets. Rusev jumps out the ring. Miro jumps out the ring. Miro with Orange Cassidy, belly to belly. Ref didn't count. You're at picture in picture. Forearm strike by Miro. Okay, and he's driving Orange Cassidy against the ring post. He grabs him by those... Grabbed him by the bandages. He's ripping them off. Miro hurling Cassidy into the ring. One count. Why does the floor under the barricades look like gone off chocolate? It's just concrete, isn't it? Freshly squeezed chant. Miro in total control here. Massive suplex there, you know. Going for another one as well. He's ripped the bandages off and gut wrench suplex also. And Miro looks out to the crowd and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah. Bryan Danielson saying that Miro's giving Orange Cassidy a lot of time here to recover. Bryan Danielson says that he thinks that Cassidy's strategy is really deep and actually quite intelligent. It's like he plays rope-a-dope with all of his opponents. He lulls them into like a false sense of security. Elbows coming into side of the head by Orange Cassidy, and Miro slams him down. With Halloween a few days ago, the floor should have been made with chocolate last week in AEW. Moxley has been acting heel in matches, but the opponents weren't over with the crowd. He would have killed Cassidy tonight, and that would have got him over as a heel, says Daniel. That's true. Let's go Miro. Fresh. I'm really surprised to hear Let's Go Miro chants. Let's go Miro. Freshly squeezed. We just had some dueling chants then. Has Lana debuted yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Miro isn't going to be lulled, says David. Miro stomping away on Orange Cassidy. He's battered him. He has battered him so far. I really like Bryan Danielson being on commentary, watching this, because it feels like he's scouting. I really like that. You know, this is a big match. Of course he would be watching. So having him out there to get his thoughts whilst the match is happening. It'd be good to like hear them ask like who he wants to face, or who's he worried about facing, or Cassidy trying to fire back. Miro being thrown into the corner. Drop kick by Orange Cassidy. Kip up and sell in the back. Against the ropes goes Cassidy up round the houses into a DDT. Tilt-a-whirl DDT. Looking for the pin. 2. Kick out by Miro. AEW fans are into Miro, with most praising him for not holding back. And you really see it in his suplexes. He launches his opponents. I remember against Darby, he killed him, says Daniel. That does show itself. Yeah, I agree. The suplexes at the start there were horrific. I've liked Miro, but I wasn't sure about him losing the title to Sammy. Big to the outside. Orange Cassidy lands on top of Miro, and Matt Hardy's in the crowd. Did Miro face Bryan Danielson in WWE? I mean, my gut reaction is they must have, but I can't remember it. I mean, it must have been on like a Raw or a SmackDown. I mean, like Miro came up and was in a feud with John Cena at WrestleMania 31. He wasn't at 30, so I don't know. I mean, like, he might have faced him, and then after 31, Bryan was gone, wasn't he? Retired, like, shortly after that, so... And did he face him when he came back? I don't know how long they were around. Quick Google search will answer that. That's very interesting. They must have. Oh. Daniel Bryan. Rusev versus Daniel Bryan. Yeah. Oh. Did they? Men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Yeah, there we go. Rusev versus Daniel Bryan in a men's Money in the Bank qualifying match on SmackDown. This was after Daniel returned. So I'm not sure they faced before he returned, but when he returned, we ended up getting... there we go. Miro's won. Miro goes forward, so Miro wasn't even in this thing, and now he's won, and it will be Miro versus Bryan Danielson. Miro wins. I'm looking forward to Danielson Miro. Yeah, it'll be good. Do you prefer 2-ply toilet paper? I think it's very nice. I don't know what ply our toilet paper is, to be honest. So, Miro and Bryan Danielson. He goes to shake his hand, but Miro walks away. And that is the end of the show. Right, get in your thoughts. Get in your thoughts. What did you think of AEW this week? 8 to 10. 775 626 75. There we go. Lone Star Friend said 7.5. Let's go silver. Well, there we go. We've got the poll up nice and early, so you can get your thoughts across. Full Gear next week. Full Gear's not this weekend. It's the weekend after, yes. Undertaker will return to Royal Rumble next year. Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl this year. Fly, Eagles, fly. David said solid wrestling, but flat otherwise. Brony said 6.75. J14 says 7. Lee says 6. Austin says 6.5. Let Him In says 6.75. Dave says 7. Esteban said smart to have two WWE guys face off right before a hockey game starts. Trey said 6.5. Zoom Station says 7. Mr. Jack says 3.14. Brad G says 7. J14 says 7. Alex said, are you a Marmite or a fried Mars bar fan? I've never had a fried Mars bar. I might have had Marmite when I was a kid, and the fact we don't have it in the house would suggest the household isn't a fan. So, but I've not had it since I was a kid. I probably wouldn't like it, to be honest. Probably wouldn't. I'm trying to have like healthy. If it's really healthy for you, like if it's got good protein and vitamins and all good stuff in it and low fat, then maybe I'd bring it into my diet. But I don't know that it does. 725 said Moldy Spoon. Rashawn says 7. Legend Killer says 6.5. Justin with a 7. Edward said 5.2. 1987 Big Fan says 6. Bonkers says 6.2. Rye said 6.75. Brony says 6.75. Clay said 6.75. Farmerson says 6.25. There was no Bray, so I can't rate it more than 6.7. Shredder says, hello, I shaved my head bald. My hairline is pushing all the way back. I've got male pattern baldness. Hello, Shredder. I mean, hello would have done, Shredder Blade. That's all you needed to say. 6, Brony, shout out to you. It was a boring show. 6.5. I barely liked anything, says Dom15. Funko Pop Asylum, shout out to you. See you tomorrow, Dave. Theory with Miro losing the belt as his gimmick is so god-related. He had one of the side plates as a Bulgarian god who was killed in his 9th fight. Miro had 9 title defenses and lost in his 9th fight. Fans are tuning in early to the NHL game. See Daniel Bryan and Rusev facing off. Smart draw for casual fans. Fun stream. See you Friday on Rampage, says Heather. Heather, shout out to you. Sunny says 6.4. Tommy said, who should be Bray's first match in AEW? It should be someone fairly decent. There needs to be a reason. I don't think you take the same path with Bray as you do with, or Wyndham, as you do with CM Punk. I don't think Wyndham is going to be interested in proving himself against young talent. I kind of feel like he's there to right wrongs. He's there to, justice. So I would want to see him going after some of the worst heels and, making them pay, making them suffer. So you could probably build up a heel, have a low-level heel that's being a problem and, ease him in that way by going after someone like that. But, I wouldn't have him go after the title or have him go after, like, Darby or anything like this. It might be a bit too soon to go after MJF. Someone, maybe you start off with someone like Shawn Spears. It might not be the most sexy of first opponents, but Shawn Spears could be battering someone with a chair, and Miro makes the Wyndham makes the save. And, you could build a feud that way or a little match that way. You've got to like work your way up, but I wouldn't have it so that he is taking on like Sammy, Jungle Boy. That's not the right path for Wyndham. So going after just work your way up through the low level heels, regardless of if they're ex-WWE or not, like Shawn Spears. Funko Pop says, welcome. Shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate the support. I couldn't fit it all in, but that was my theory for Miro losing the belt. Someone tweeted the theory, and Miro replied with a thumbs up. Rai said, another awesome stream. Keep up the great work. Appreciate the support. When is Brock returning to SmackDown? Rumours till next year, I don't think, is there? I think next year, rumours. I want to see Darby versus Wyndham, says J14. Hasib with a 6. Where are we with the scores for tonight? Where are we with the scores? We are kind of in the middle, in all fairness. 35% of people say 6 to 675. 36% of people say 7 to 775. Thanks again, Dave. No worries, buds. Shout out to you, Heather. I'd love to see Wyndham face Sting if he goes to AEW. Oh, imagine if they did a cinematic match. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Days, if you made a prediction, who do you think goes over between Becky and Charlotte at Survivor Series? I don't think either would want to lose that. I think you'd have to find a way of satisfying them both. I don't think either would want that loss. Not with all the stuff that's going on. So, I really don't know. I'd have to say that someone would interfere. Interference. Charlotte goes over thanks to outside interference. Fun fact, these are fun facts. Wyndham can take on MJF, Wardlow, or Miro as his first challenger, maybe, says Austin. My score, I'm going to give this 6. I'm going to give this a 6. I think this was better than last night's NXT. I think that the final 2 matches really helped. I thought that Andrade, Orange Cassidy was quite brutal. And I thought that good. Like, it was chucking him around. It was good. And I gave NXT 5.5. And as I said earlier, is this better? And to be honest, I couldn't quite make my mind up. There wasn't really anything that was on this show for me. But I did like the American Top Team thing. I did like the Omega match. I did like Cody Andrade. And I did like the main event. So that was on the show for me. So I got those. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff here that I was like, wasn't really feeling it this week. I don't know why. It's just been, for me, a bit of a off week for wrestling so far. I wasn't feeling Raw. I didn't feel NXT. This is one of my least favourite Dynamites. It's quite rare for us to go down to the 6s. And as I said, the final 2 matches really brought that score up for me. So I would be in that 6 to 6.75 as well. Range. But I do think this was better than NXT. I want to see Matt Hardy versus Wyndham, OC versus Wyndham, Jericho Wyndham, and MJF versus Wyndham. NXT is not close. Can I get a shout out? Anthony, shout out to you. Erase Your Mind said, I want Wyndham to face Tully whilst holding Glock as a gun. Would you rather see Miro hand Bryan his first defeat so Hangman has a heel as his first opponent? That would make sense, wouldn't it? That would make sense. And actually, Miro probably does deserve a shot at the title. And losing to Miro, I don't think there's much shame there. So, yeah, I actually don't mind that, Daniel. I don't mind that. Austin, shout out to you. David, shout out to you. By Sam of a Mother. Austin. NXT was the better show for me, says Nelson. That's fair enough. They could have Bianca interfere and cost Becky, but I don't think Becky would be thrilled that Charlotte disrespected her and then she goes over. Yeah, when I said someone interfere, I was actually thinking more like Aaliyah. Like, you could put Aaliyah, who's brand new to the main roster and has never really done much on her own. I mean, the biggest thing she did in NXT was being the Robert Stone brand. So you could actually have Aaliyah go and join up with Charlotte. Do you remember when, like, Dana Brooke was with Charlotte for a time? Like, Charlotte is the queen and could, like, do with someone to, like, boss around. And you know how someone always opens the ropes for her? Imagine if she had Aaliyah to come down and do that for her rather than it being like a WWE person. Or Aaliyah could go and get, like, you know, she could just faff around getting her drinks backstage, getting her the microphone, you know, holding her ring gear. And, like, that would give Aaliyah something to do on the main roster. And actually putting her with Charlotte, I mean, that's like sitting under the learning tree, isn't it? You know, you're going to learn how to do promos, how to have good matches, and, you know, it's good traveling company as well for, like, someone like Aaliyah. So I was thinking, like, it'd be good if you did Becky versus Charlotte. Aaliyah interrupts without the ref seeing. Charlotte gets the win, but do you know what I mean? So Charlotte wins, which will make Charlotte happy. You get to put Aaliyah with Charlotte, which is cool. Becky loses, but she doesn't really lose. And that's that. So I was thinking more along those lines than, like, bringing down a Bianca or, you know, someone big, like an Asuka coming back. I was thinking, like, could you do another, like, Dana Brooke? And I don't know what they're going to do with Aaliyah, but you'd have to think she'd be used for something like that. Because I can't see her being, like, built up as a, you know... I don't think she's winning the Rumble and going to be the next Bianca Belair. So... I haven't watched the show. I was doing UFC research. Daniel said, I see a lot of people slating Adam Cole so far in AEW, despite him being there for a month. Miro is proof that if you think something is off, just let AEW tell their story. Being with Charlotte did nothing for Dana Brooke, says Jim. That's true. It didn't. But then I don't think they've really seen anything in Dana. I don't think they see anything in Aaliyah either. So I don't really know why she's there apart from to like job out, which she could still do. But at least she'd get TV time if she was put with Charlotte. So I'm not saying that this is going to be the launching pad for her to go on and become a massive star, because as you said, it didn't really do that for Dana. But I mean, I feel so sorry for Dana. I wish it had. I really wish it had. I wish they treated Dana Brooke better and gave her some opportunities. But for whatever reason, like, she just doesn't seem to be flavor of the month any month, does she? So, and sadly, I don't think Aaliyah will be either. I think Kenny is going to retain and Bryan take the belt off him, and then Bryan gives Hangman his first match. Being with WWE did nothing for Dana. That's true. Charlotte is going to be lucky to still be there by the time Survivor Series comes around. Alex said, can you shout yourself out, please? I'm not allowed. That's actually illegal. That's against the YouTube terms of policy. Did Tully and Arm ever have a match together? If so, who won? I mean, they must have. But my old school WCW NWA knowledge is going to be limited. Certainly not in WWE, they didn't. Tully... nothing is jumping up, to be honest. They must have. I don't believe they never faced each other. There's lots of them being together and brain busters, but nothing with them actually facing each other. Anderson versus Tully Blanchard. They must have. They just must have. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, WWE, WWF debut. Don't know. I feel like I could go through page after page after page of all of their matches. And I don't know if I'll ever find that they did. I mean, right now, I'm going to say no, but I feel like they must have. How many pages? There's a lot. Let's put it that way. A lot of pages. I'm heading off. That's a question for the leader of the Cult Cornet. Yeah, that'd be a good question for Cornet. There are rumours that John Cena wants to do a song with Eminem. Oh, I'm sure Eminem is would be thrilled. Tully and Arm were partners. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're wrapped up. We've stuck around for a little bit, shared our thoughts, and we are done for the evening. So awesome, guys! I hope you got out of AEW whatever you could get out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. And we move on. So tomorrow there is the Wrestling Escape Pod. On Friday we've got football. And we've got SmackDown and Rampage. And then, wow, we've got a massive Saturday. I mean, we start Saturday with Man United versus Man City. That is just... and then we've got, like, the other games. We've then got UFC. If we can fit in Canelo and Plant, I don't think we can. But if we can, if it looks like we're going to be able to do it, then we'll look to try and do that as well. So loads of stuff lined up for Saturday. A couple of other games as well on Sunday. So it's a busy weekend of wrestling, UFC, football, AEW, obviously with Rampage. We're just over a week away from Full Gear. Full Gear is going to be massive because that's going to have, you know... I mean, you think people were coming into this stream, 40% of people thought Wyndham would be on this show in our community.
So that is only going to grow, you would think, as we get closer towards Full Gear. And Full Gear, I think, Full Gear has always been the show where I think people have expected him. So I don't know what that would be by the time we get to Full Gear. So we might be just over a week and a half away from the debut of Wyndham. So, right, we are done. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. Let me just end the poll so we can see, because I forgot to do that. We've had 181 votes. Let's just see what these votes are, and then we can all go our separate ways. 6 to 675, 34%. 7 to 775, 33. Very close between those two. 22% said 8 to 10, and 8% said 575 or below. So there we go. 180 votes. 6 to 675. Just pipping. 7 to 775. Right, awesome. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.